Wait! If Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss.
But how could... never...
There is one other thing.
Oh! Her? Yeah. That's not the sort...
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable... She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us, yes, that is our
All right. Anyway, that's the... thanks. You two should...
Yeah!
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will...
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of order.
Paimon gets the feeling that... but... never...
No, I just returned after going out for a while.
Wait!
How could... Unfortunately, this name seems to have been what I suspect that... No. There is... and that is the archives, kept by... if the Ocean...
So Nervalette mean... in that case, let's go to...
No. Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Please state your business here. That she... Huh. This place does look...
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes,
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember...
Oh, yes, I remember.
We're here today to...
Huh. Is that even...
Of course.
All right then, I'll let you through. The chief just...
Thanks.
Please, come in.
Sorry to barge in, monsieur.
It's all right.
We're looking for a...
Ah, I see.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that there are no records of him.
Traveler?
Is that so?
Him. Miss Navia, I can understand how your father
And what? Are you trying to No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. After you even told me that in your eyes, if you truly why didn't you give me the power to stop him? Everything was hanging. There are still so many. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
I'm sorry.
You and my it's not so much that you oh well. And my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia.
I'm fine.
You're right.
Now that I think of it...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and that thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that. But didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying... Yeah!
I really think... Alright, let's go...
Yeah! We're gonna...
Do you want to go with me now? Great. There's no need. My father was the one who... A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you... Paimon was confused. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for her...
Well, Poisson... Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the... You said before that you still had...
You still remember, right?
Yes, the case was quite similar.
Could you tell us a bit?
Yeah, of course. Many years at a glance.
Wait!
Yes, he did. Consider if you drink synth, and if you were to stop as he oversaw...
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. Not only that...
Yes. Recognizing that, the man's name was Jacques. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his... But then...
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's. Looking back on it, though... Precisely. But, considering it now, you're right.
Jacques was an empathetic... I think this... On that note, however... Our opponent, even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, there is no need...
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable.
So you do know something else, Melus?
Yes, I do. But what drove...
What?
And the serial 5 years was knowing all of this. But as long as you... If something were to happen...
Right. So...
As we've seen, bosses...
No. I don't believe it. He never...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard. Especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die inside...
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What if Boss's spirit... I'm sure he'd...
That fool. No. He might have set up everything precisely because... he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where... Yeah. I suppose, but thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Huh. Melus, what was the key...
It's the location where synth is produced. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to...
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go...
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious... There's no telling what might... But a single... The worst case...
Then, in that case, what...
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr...
Huh. But things...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought...
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake.
Thank you for all of that, Melus.
Let me think. When I announced orders, if the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina de Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood. Thanks to his position, there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. But in the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around, with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization?
Yes, you can... It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between... Although the guards mostly, since Thierry...
I see. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next...
If you want to investigate...
Of course.
You're too kind, my... And before I forget, proving bought... After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit.
Aw, thank you so much.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover...
It is settled, then.
Thank you for arranging... Excuse me, miss.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her.
I'm sorry that I only...
If it's about that.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. I know.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband,
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets. And felt that he took the idea of... So when he tried to be his kid...
They found out...
Papa didn't say that exactly.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized... I don't know that for sure. But... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had even if he fired the shot that killed my husband.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad? Papa always wanted to be a good...
Well, things aren't always as...
Yeah, Papa...
Then you should hold on to that, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think that's the...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florence should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance?
I'm sure you've heard about...
Yeah, I've heard.
It also reminded me, after my partner here put the dots together for me. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some... My first reaction was that but when I got there, it was already too late.
So you also remember...
Indeed. The guard said that the first reason being, But according to the guard, about the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there...
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes... But hold on. He didn't even want to... Did he lose all faith in the courts?
About that, Malus told me I'll tell you everything.
I understand. Then, and if I may just say one more thing. Many people have laughed at me for still... But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what other...
Don't worry. I will... You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to... Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there isn't a...
I mean, Callus did a fantastic... It would be next to impossible. Anyway.
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the opera...
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into... If you want to go through the...
That'd be much appreciated.
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, so... if you...
If I had to make an analogy... When you order a dish, the chef will make it. If you try to make unreasonable, removing a so I can promise, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Jokes aside, I'll be staying in the city.
Just treat them as new samples.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Mars.
Sure.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out.
Oh, it's all... I just wanted to...
Yes,
Oh!
that's right. I also witnessed to beat the hydro...
Oh, I'm a...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as an...
Uncle Marcel...
Yes,
Exactly.
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex.
And there was also... If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be...
Oh, you're giving us too...
Alas. But rest assured, Navia. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there,
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. Do you have any new thoughts?
about the confrérie was responsible. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay.
Sounds good. All my wealth comes from Callus's...
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Florent mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really try. You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence. Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the... You're right. An important place. Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my quest. Do you accept the
To be perfectly honest, however, I did hear, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever... When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon. Then why don't you duel me too?
Alas, it would have... In that case, let...
That case had nothing to do... Huh? What's going... What?
I told you... Miss Navia, this is... But that was an exception.
Oh, please. We can put that discussion aside for now, and if my charge...
Oh. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for...
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person... Something's not... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabaret... Huh? What?
I've heard of them.
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia. And if the charge...
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact... Mr. Marcel.
I think an attorney...
Very well.
I would like to take it only through a...
Navia, come on. If that's enough to...
exactly correct, Your Honor.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina during the banquet, when the guests arrived at the scene, the guard's investigation did not... The suspect did not dispute this. Callus was defeated by... These are the known facts.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, after that... However... Something's... Something's not... Something... The testimony of the victim... However, This assassin... A pile of clothing with... But now, since... Realizing this, the...
So that's what happened. Wait, you're...
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel.
But I think...
Then, may I ask one?
Boo! I may not have the... We should be able to, considering the
That makes sense to me.
Maybe she's scared.
Alternatively...
My second question has to do with the... Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had...
I've thought about this too. The dissolving power. My father could have exposed it. At that time, what was certain how...
Boss once told me...
What? If the secret had got... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of them. But what good would that do? Had this opera... But by staying silent, I was able to become... And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, So... That's right.
Do you have any...
Of course. all you need. I don't need your apology, but since he entrusted—
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless in my line of work. Just one look and I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Cal—
Since that's your testimony.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you—
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the series?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases, in my father's case, the culprit and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of it. The culprit could only time their actions so precise, coincidentally.
So that's why I'm used to it, though.
No need to appeal.
I won't try to refute. On top of that, does a person have to be physically— I know that alas, who won't feel at least a little— But if I were to dismiss— Do you know what the biggest—
I suppose you're gonna—
It's timing. I'm a businessman by— In addition, But the
I do apologize.
No.
Is there anything— You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or ask, could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable—
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb— But aren't you going against— He wished for you to be— Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into—
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability— The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial— Many people's— And whose image is it a man named— Oh. I was waiting.
As a good knight should.
Come a little closer. You're in for a little
No escape! Be gone! Windblade! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Windblade!
Steady as stone. Time to clean up.
Windblade! No one escapes my sight! Prepare to be blown away! Please.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
La-da.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
Now the path is clear! Let's go! As a good knight should. Leave it all to me.
Windblade!
Try not to enjoy.
As expected! That... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... Huh? You mean the girls from this... And then they were and all the boxes of things. These names... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the... Mixing in progress... Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! What's this over here? Looks like some kind of experiment numbers. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. How can someone write something that terrible and you read the rest? Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's what... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... So that's it? Vache? No, that's not it either! If that's the... In any case... here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all this. If you dilute it with Paimon, will take... Let's see what's written here. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems... This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined. The old dog's a real... He can act whenever he... I concur. Let's send someone... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. We've looked at almost everything... Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able that way, even if we bring all this back to the op... Sure thing. You take that side and Paimon will... Nothing at all! And Paimon can't even find snacks either! Whoa, really? Let Paimon see! Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Aw, it's just an... So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel. Wait, but... Marcel... Hey!
And whose image is it a man? Oh, so I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of—
Just how often?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence,
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've...
Huh?
We've investigated your lover. You even created
So that's it. And with that,
this information well, Marcel, you fixated your gaze, so you never noticed how we changed.
You also never
For our determination to...
You're determined.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to.
Do you think... Pay attention to you. What for? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes. But I'm not from this blasted place.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Do you all see? I did all of that. And in the end, I spent my entire life...
The suspect is exhibiting...
Don't touch me! Vignier, please!
At this point, the
Fine by me.
Traveler, please... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in... Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young... To cover his tracks, during the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted... However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his... After exchanging... Although the assassination did... And just recently. However, his attempt to... Thus concludes the... The Oratrice will now deliver the final... According to the judgment of the Oratrice, guilty.
guards, take...
Good. It's what...
With that,
We really just
He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's fine. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were...
A day our late boss...
Yeah. Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have... Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? Not...
According to court protocol, since this trial...
Oh, come on.
Please respect the laws of...
All right.
Through evidence presented in the public... The guilty party has been... We now turn to the... According to the judgment, guilty.
What?
Hey! What's with this verdict?
Huh? This is
I mean, have you ever...
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearance?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. Guards, please...
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on?
Apologies. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
I don't... What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has...
Yeah, so are the verdicts...
My dearest, don't tell me.
But the way she looked just now...
However, if you thought Child had nothing to do with this, everything he's done, all shall be revealed. Now, having said that, although I hate...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we should...
She probably... However, please be assured that I...
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, after all, he's done.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence?
Really? The Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please give me a...
What? Give an inch and you want to take...
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him...
This request.
Of course! Wait, no. It's...
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just as... Very well.
Your Honor,
I will go with him.
In that case...
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and...
Vacher!
Ah!
Yes, that's it!
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vacher!
Vacher? Vacher!
I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache, why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been all this time. I must be true. Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I...
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What?
If not for you, I would have... If not for you, it's all because...
Wait.
You're right. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back, our thoughts circulate. I'm Cressy, the only one...
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed... But did you ever consider whether she... You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Vignier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since...
Well met, partner. I knew...
Even this weather.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey,
Oh. It's just been... Everyone from Spina di Rosula this time, though.
So is Nick...
It's been the dearest wish.
Oh, by the way, well, maybe it'd be more...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from...
Yeah, way back when I first I believe the story was called... To be fair, though, she was trying to lean on our friendship to...
Oh, yeah. She told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true, too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that... Oh, and in other news, I also...
Oh, are you two...
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clorand... It was thanks to her that we were able to turn...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clorand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good...
Anyway, now that the case is... Oh, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him, to this day.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to...
Sure thing.
And in that case, everyone, let's be...
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a... this is where my
Huh?
Hmm?
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief...
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Nervalette. In any case...
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more... Oh, rather... Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's high. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say this regretted that high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually...
Sorry about that.
Didn't...
So let's not disturb them for... Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Huh? Oh no! Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad! Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there.
Oh, it's you two. I see, I see. Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor. Your sibling, if he ever stepped foot in Fontaine... Is there anything else? My apologies. My investigation has still not reached. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered... For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I've been prepared for a situation like this for a long time. I was not aware such a thing had In any case, I am based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though. While we do intend to get to... If we did...
If you ask Paimon...
Is there anything else you... That the sea levels will rise, and does that appropriately summarize?
That's right!
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached... Rumors have it that this...
A prophecy?
2 parts of the prophecy. Speaking of the prophecy, if the rumors were true...
But with...
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
So, at court...
Truthfully, that name... There used to be a special sea, most of Tevat's... But today, the primordial... What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special...
So...
Indeed. Why would the... To be frank, is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is mere...
All right, you've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. You know, we've been walking around for a while now. Why don't we go back to the Spina di Rosula base in the court of Fontaine and have a rest? Navia said something about having a place ready for us there, didn't she? Come on, let's go! blades. Let it rain. Time to clean up.
Another test subject. Have a little taste. Suffocate.
Prepare to be blown away!
The hunter becomes the hunted.
No one escapes my sights! Secure!
As a dutiful maid would. Surrendering will be gentle. Come a little closer.
Yep, here's the room, and it's empty. Now, why don't we stay and rest up here? Oh, come on. Oh, remember that detective story Paimon read before? Paimon didn't expect that.
Excuse me, but do you know if the
Huh?
a blonde traveler?
Hey, what do you mean by chatty?
It's an honor to meet you both.
Nivelette? He wants to see us again,
I am not privy to the
If...
Now that I've
Thanks! We haven't left the room for a few days. If you're new here, don't run off on your own. Neverland! We're here! Did you want to see us about something? Huh?
Yes, I did send someone to fetch you. But as for what I'd like to discuss...
Given that we've already made the trip here, you should...
I do indeed have some... The situation is... If I'm understanding you, I heard that she was originally... I sincerely advise you to refuse her invitation. I'm sure you're aware that her purpose is most likely related to Child's We convicted one of the I believe we should adopt an evasive stance until we can provide a proper explanation.
No, we shouldn't.
Oh?
Well, you see, we are the ones that owe an explanation. It's like a...
Though diplomat...
It was...
Moreover, even if we were to talk in person...
Besides...
I must clarify that but more importantly, when did I agree to join...
You mean you won't come? No, that won't do. I can't go to the meeting alone. You have to accompany me.
Lady Farina.
No, not at all. Look, I am the Hydro Archon of Fontaine, Focalor, the god of justice who is loved and adored by many. So I...
Though it could officially... I assume you see it the same way, Miss Farina? Lady Farina?
Oh! yes, that's right. Just like to make...
It's a pleasure.
Hello.
First, I would like to thank the two of you. The children of the House of the Hearth are often misunderstood. All I meant to say is that Fontaine, that is some...
Now then.
Well, yes. As we are both diplomats from Snezhnaya, as well as Fatui Harbingers, Child and I have always been called, were anything to... So now, in my...
The rules governing it...
An outright... Okay, you don't need to It's not like...
The fortress of Meropide has always been completely... However...
The knave showed up. We didn't even know that Lenny was from the...
Yes, thank you for... I also noticed that...
Could the knave be...
If that were the case... In reality, this problem is even... The details are still... Special guard. I was only willing to...
So this is...
Yes. This was my... The knave did not...
So that means we bought ourselves...
Firstly, you're already... And secondly...
Isn't it just Fontaine's prison?
I would not define it so early in Fontaine's... The fortress of Meropide may seem like a prison. All we do... Although I do have...
Oh!
Correct. So... Are you two...
Yeah.
You two have my sins. We will rendezvous at the fort...
Prepared ourselves?
Perhaps you could enjoy a good meal and have a nice bath.
Oh, right! Even though we'll be there on trumped-up charges, we'll be in prison for real. On second thought...
Please do not worry. You will be compensated.
Now that's more like it! Come on, traveler!
Are you leaving now? In that case, please take...
We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. Cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. Cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely
That cake was pretty good. Now that Paimon thinks about it, we've always been split.
Oh, what is that I hear? Is it the
Hey!
Oh, don't remind me. I invited an eyewitness. Calm down, calm down. This is nothing new. As a journalist, you should be used to this by now. Never mind. It's nothing. I just heard.
No way! We would never! Oh no. Paimon almost forgot that Neverlet told us to keep it a secret.
Huh? You're.
Oh. You mean Paimon? Sorry.
Well, in that case, it's nothing particularly newsworthy after all. Oh, right.
About that.
Oh, it's nothing difficult. He was awarded the. On top of that, the Fortress of. Oh, if I could write it.
You make it sound easy.
Of course. I wouldn't ask you to.
All right, you got a deal.
Then it's settled. The food should be here any second, right? Huh? Wait, just how much did you order?
Oh, Paimon's so full. Well... wait. Paimon just said something really ominous, didn't she?
You have come, just as promised. Yes, this is the one and only entrance to the Fortress of Meripede from Irenaeus. Careful. You may...
Ooh!
Utilizing both the barrier, but do not worry.
Paimon hopes you're right.
Oh, and there's one more thing. I mentioned that I have had personal dealings with the administrator of the fortress, Wriothesley. He's a very shrewd fellow.
Yeah, we heard about him too. He's that Duke, right?
Correct. He is the highest-ranking manager of the underwater prison. Even though you are going there to investigate at my behest, it would behoove you to avoid any confrontation with him or any of his subordinates. The Duke rarely ever leaves the Fortress of Meripede, but that does not mean he is... All right.
Don't worry, we won't...
Good.
I'm here.
Like we would try.
Please follow me, you two.